If you're a frustrated nest leader who is dedicated and seems accomplished, but deep down something just doesn't feel right. Every day feels the same, nothing excites or challenges you, and despite the excessive work demands, you're secretly bored and craving autonomy. You want to make a difference, be part of something bigger, have flexibility and scale your income. Instead of fulfillment, you're carrying chronic stress, unacknowledged effort. In this video, I'll help you weigh out, is it worth leaving your Nest leadership job for Nest Consulting? And if you did, what are the pros and cons? So you can make an informed decision about what's next in your career. I used the same strategies I'm sharing with you today to go from an unhappy, stuck, burnt out nest manager to having control over my own work schedule, flexibility, autonomy over who I work with through Nest Consulting. And now I help other nest leaders do the same. Be sure to subscribe for more videos on how to regain control of your time, have flexibility, make an impact, and scale your income through Nest Consulting. You're not the only nest leader who is thinking of leaving nursing or changing their jobs. The problem is when you just change your job without addressing the system, you find yourself in a cycle where you're hopping from one job you hate to the next job you hate. So why are you even frustrated and feeling stuck in your current role? You've reached this point because you've been giving and giving, having excessive demands over the years. And when you started out, you were so dedicated and you were the one who had the goal and the dream and the vision to turn nursing upside down and improve everything. But after many years of excessive demands on your time and really working with all your heart to try and in order to give excellent patient care, you've reached that point of being burnt out and tired because you were pouring and now the cup is empty because the system, the company is not pouring into you. Nest leaders are experiencing burnout syndrome, which is a phenomenon where you have emotional exhaustion from constant stress that is unrelieved, as well as depersonalization. Depersonalization is a scenario where you view your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions as if they're outside of yourself. You are experiencing physical fatigue where no matter how many hours you sleep, you still wake up feeling tired and you just never feel rested. As a result, you don't even have the energy to do the work that you once did in the past. Despite you having so much expertise, there's been a lack of recognition for what you bring to the table. As a result, you are underappreciated and you feel as if your expertise is not valued. Your income does not equate to your level of experience. In fact, it's a slap in the face because way newer nurses than you who are doing travel nursing are earning double or 3 times what you're earning in your full-time, permanent, demanding nest leader job. You're reflecting and looking back on all the years in which you have been in your career and you have missed out from many precious moments with your children. Probably by now your kids are grown and have moved out of the nest and you've realized the importance of you being able to give time, quality time to the grandkids. And this is really making you question whether it's worth it going on the way you're doing now. Unfortunately, for some nest leaders, you might even be experiencing chronic illness from anxiety, depression, stress that has been unrelieved over the years, and maybe there's even a health scare. You've given your career everything and now you're asking, what is it giving you? Despite all these negatives, the positives of you remaining in that frustrating role that is stressing you out are the fact that you have the stability of a paycheck that comes in month after month after month. When you have a job title, you have the notion of being important. And this reason itself is something that keeps a lot of people from stepping out on their own. There's probably a glimmer of hope that maybe the situation at your job will change. Maybe the upper leadership will improve their systems so that there's better support for leaders, or there'll be better training so that the workplace environment improves. Who knows? There might be that little hope. On the other hand, if you transitioned to Nest Consulting, then immediately you've got full control over your time. You make your own work schedule. You choose the healthcare clients that you work with, and that gives you autonomy on a whole new level. Nest Consulting is the fastest way of transforming your nursing expertise into income. What do I mean by that? As a nurse consultant, you take the experience that you've gained over the years and you use this experience to solve problems for healthcare and non-healthcare companies. It gives you the privilege of using your clinical and leadership experience to help those who need you the most. And the best part that I've discovered with Nest Consulting is you work in the areas that are most fulfilling to you, and you offer the services that you want to offer. So no one forces you to, keep on doing the work that you hated, for example, and you no longer have the mundane admin day-to-day tasks. You can concentrate on the exciting aspects, because as a consultant, you go deeper on the main issues. You're no longer a generalist. What's more, you do not need extra certification or another master's for you to be a nurse consultant. With all due respect, I know that as nurses, we are addicted to higher certification, and I have no problem with this. But before you get another degree and pay $45,000 for another degree, or even if it's $20,000, ask yourself, have I gotten return on investment for the current certifications and degrees that I have? There are many advantages to nurse consulting. The biggest one has to be flexibility. You reach a stage in life where you no longer want to ask someone for time off, and you want full control over your own schedule. This will mean going away for holidays when it's convenient for you, depending on how your nurse consulting business is going, and the freedom to pick up, to babysit and take care of the kids or grandkids and have time for hobbies and other things that you enjoy doing. Your time is accounted for, so there is this time freedom. Instead of giving 4 to 5 extra hours every day, the way that you're doing now as a nurse leader, you only do the work, you are paid for every hour of work that you do. In fact, it's an expectation that you are paid for every hour of work based on your value. Compare that to the excessive unpaid time that you're giving in right now. Your work in nurse consulting is purpose-driven. What do I mean? You have a sense of fulfillment through the work that you do because you're offering services that are aligned to you. I encourage and advise people to offer services that they're passionate about and ditch those things that they do not like doing. As a nurse consultant, you have the ability and freedom to build a business that you love so you can fall in love with nursing again. Your income potential doubles or even triples or quadruples. Is that the word? When you become a nurse consultant. In your current role, you probably get 2 to 6% annual income increase. As a nurse consultant, you determine your own rates, and as your confidence and expertise increases, so does your rates. You can even scale your nurse consulting business from being just an independent nurse consultant and subcontract to other consultants. As a nurse consultant, you are hired because you are experienced and there is recognition for the skill set and value that you bring to the table. This matters a lot to us because we want to know that the work that we're doing is actually being recognized, being acknowledged, and being valued by those that we are doing this work for. You can now work in autonomy because you choose who you want to work with and who you do not want to work with. I love that as a nurse consultant, you're not stuck in a hostile and negative work environment. And you know what? If that's you right now, where your current workplace has become so toxic, so negative, you dread going there every day because there's so much disrespect that happens and undermining of your expertise and skills from your peers and even upper management. if you become a nurse consultant, then you no longer have to spend years in that situation. You can simply, change your environment, trade that client for a different client. And if you're sitting there right now thinking, you know what, I'm ready to have time freedom and have flexibility over what it is I do and make an impact using my nursing expertise, then book a free consultation with me. Link to my calendar is in the comments and description. I would not be telling you the full story if I didn't tell you the disadvantages of nurse consulting. After all, I want you to make an informed decision. The first one is there is no guaranteed paycheck in the beginning. This has never stopped me from going after the dreams I have and pursuing my nurse consulting career. And if you as a nurse leader are the primary breadwinner in your home, you can make a transition plan. So instead of just jumping from your main job and then getting into nurse consulting straight away, factor in the fact that in the beginning you will not have that steady paycheck because you are still developing your client base. So I always tell people to make a 90-day transition plan where you start the process of deciding on what consulting services you're going to offer, developing your own client database, registering your business model, and then also securing clients, and do that over a 90-day time frame with a plan, so that you know that if you're going to get your first client on day number 90 and your second client on day number day number 100 or 99 or something, then you can now start putting in your resignation at your current job. So despite the disadvantage of not having a steady paycheck, you can actually factor that in and plan ahead by having a transition plan and giving yourself time so that you transition without having to miss out on income. It might mean extra hours in the beginning, but you're working hard in order to make it